What's up, everybody? This is Super Mike 2164, and we're gonna get started. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? This is just a little morning thing that I wanted to touch base in, just to just to get some you know just to get some knowledge out there. And let me see here. Hold on a second. Yeah. So, like I said, good morning. I want some positive vibes. It's a lot going on. Everybody knows that there's a lot of contention in the world. We're living through a change, a big old change in the world. And a lot of us don't know how to handle that change. A lot of us don't know how to make sense of what we're seeing. There's different moves being made. And, you know, we need to understand some of these moves. You're not going to get necessarily the best way to handle all these different things just from your own information that you get. You're going to have to reach out and look at different agencies and different people who have, access to information that you don't have, so that you can make the smartest decision for you and your family. So this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about science, math, and history. So the thing is a lot of us, I notice there's a lot of our people that we don't understand the connection to our lives of science, scientific research, math, and history. These are subjects that a lot of our people are proudly talking about how much they hate. We talk about we hate history, especially in Black America. We say stuff like that. I don't care about what happens in history. And everybody in the whole world, when you see these other cultures and you see, they may have a few things going on better than we have going on here. They got a little bit more control of their communities, they control of their neighborhoods. They got more control of their culture. See, because these are people that care about their history. So when you have a high degree of our people talking about how much we hate history, then of course we're going to have problems, because everybody in the world knows you can't orientate yourself. You can't maintain your culture unless you care and honor your own history. And you got to know it. Anytime I show something like this, we show a Facebook. This is one of the reasons why I got. Well, that's not it. But in Facebook, you're talking about, oh, Donald Trump's the worst president in the world, or ever, I should say. They says, and I'm like, okay, he could be. That's fine, but obviously not, because you have somebody like Andrew Johnson. You got somebody like Andrew Johnson. This is the man who, when Lincoln got killed, he gave your slave reparations. He gave the reparations, the 40 acres and a mule, all the land over there by all those, the coastal areas, the rice plantations, all of those, formerly enslaved people who helped fight in the Civil War and who went there to get get back something back on their footing. And Lincoln in Field Order 15 gave them that 40 acres and a mule. This man took those acres back from the Black people, your ancestors, and gave them to the white slave masters, slave owners. So that probably would be one of the worst presidents That's what I would say. These are some of the things that we need to know. You know, people are talking about black folks did not come, all of us came from, you know, Africa only. The only reason why now, of course, Africa is a home, a throne land to black people on the planet. And black people just means the original people on the planet, but we were all over the planet. They actually they low key calling us stupid. They low key calling us dumb, calling us primitives by saying that they had to enslave us to get us out of Africa as far as our genes. But the fact is, we have been traveling around this whole time, this planet. Our phenotype has been traveling around this planet for millions of years, literally. So this is just another, example. There's many examples. You got the big heads, you got the Olmecs. I mean, it's not even, but if you continue to look at them and their science as an authority, they're going to lie to you because they see your future. They're going to lie. They know who is going to be the rulers after them. They know just because we look crazy right now and that we acting ignorantly, they're making sure that we're ignorant. And a lot of us, like I said, we say we hate science. We say we hate math. We say we hate history. Don't pass that mess down to your children. Do not pass that crap down to your children. It's probably somebody ingrained it in your heart to hate math, to hate science, to hate history. Okay, but don't pass that down to your children, because you have to be able to rule in order to be able to control and rule and to see things before they happen. You're going to have mathematical thinking, so logic. You're going to have a knowledge of political science. You're going to have a knowledge of just basic science. And science is not controlled by a scientific community and scientists. Science is controlled because it is a methodology of finding the truth. What's going on at Koja? Yeah. Africa populated the whole entire planet, but really and truly, if we really go real good into the history, we not just from Africa. So that's what they tell us. And true enough, yeah, the oldest bones, it's so ancient, it's millions of years. So, but they don't really have an origin, because all of the oldest skeletons and bones and DNA that they find of black people, these people had parents. So they don't have an origin. Yeah. Right. And the thing is, some people do. We feel like if we don't like something, we kind of run away from it. And on average folks, I'm just saying average, not every single person, but I'm just saying on average, we hear our people talking about, oh, we hate math, we hate science. The thing is, and we love, and so of course we're going to get into our politics, which is actually science. It's social science. With the politics, they're using social science to keep large amounts of people under a degree of control. Okay, but they use that, so with your education, they're using this with your education. They're restricting, and see, if whatever I put inside your sphere of knowledge of what is true, then that's all you got to use to calculate your answers with. So, you don't have, all you got is, a certain thing to calculate your answers with. And so you're going to only be within where I know, where you're safe, where you're not going to come outside of that. I'll say it that way. Yeah. That's what they tell us. Now, the only thing is, and I know that this makes sense. It makes sense based on what they've taught us thus far. But we got to understand that there's a lot more knowledge out there. I'll say it that way. See, this planet is our home. This whole thing is not a certain location, but according to what they've told us now and all of the stuff that we feel that we can get access to, but there's other information. But see, what they're going to do is they're going to say, oh, that's not valid. Oh, this information is not valid. And what they do is make us feel more connection to a certain section, which is nothing wrong with that because all of it's ours, really. Every piece on this planet is ours. See, black people are the way that people first looked. Okay. Now, when we move over different parts of the planet, then the conditions we change a little. Okay. But the way people first always look, the way humans look are the way we look. And that's just the bottom line, Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but the thing is, like I said, this is a problem that I'm just noticing with a lot of our folks all over this whole world. Well, especially the ones that have history of enslavement, because when somebody got control of you and your parents and your great grandparents and their great grandparents and stuff like that, no matter how strong and proud and all these different things that we feel in our own life, there are things that do affect us. There's stuff that happens that has an effect on us. It has an effect on how our group of people can, control the stuff that we need to control. So anytime you're talking about black towns that has been buried under water, like Lake Lanier and stuff, anytime you're talking about stuff where people can just come up there, you got a nice little town, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Redwood, Rosewood, different what they call Black Wall Streets and different neighborhoods that black people have. And then some other get different community could just decide, we're just gonna take their stuff. We're just gonna move them on out there. Oh, y'all got a little hair care industry. Oh, we're gonna take over that. We just take it. So the reason why it's so easy for these other groups to just kind of take what they want from us is because we have been affected by some stuff, and we don't want to get that thing cleaned up. And that's what we're talking about when we start talking about all of this history. And then people get bored over it because they don't want to hear about this little incident or that little incident, because to them it might sound depressing. But when you listen to your history and then you listen to your people, who are actually trying to get you back cleaned up, then what that's going to do is going to start to change the way you're approaching and thinking of stuff. And then you can start, because it's a personal thing first. Of course, we always start with ourselves. But once you start getting yourself a little bit more on the track, you don't have to be perfect personally. But then we got to start getting our family and getting our community back. We all have skills. I know, Kojo, you got these skills as far as yeah, well, I know we're saying that skills as far as coming from the land, all of these sorts of things, nursing skills, all of the different skills that our people have, we use those to benefit ourselves, but we just want to make sure that we understand that we got to start passing on all of the good stuff to the new generations. Now, what I wanted to do I wanted to read a couple stories real quick because I'm gonna be out of here in a second. But also, I just wanted to kind of put some more information out there. Now, we were told that there's hardly no life in the universe, and we gotta wait for white folks to tell us that we got to wait for them to tell us stuff. I'll say it that way, because they have all the equipment. They got control of all of the satellites, all of that kind of thing. So I just want to read this here. So this is, but They're telling us stuff, but we really don't listen to this because we don't see that we don't think that it matters. I just want to read this one. So we're showing here, enormous water reservoir found in space is bigger than 140 trillion Earth oceans. Now I'm saying this is because anytime you see in water, okay, water it can hold life by itself. You got water, you got carbon, okay, that's food. Those are animals. Astronauts have discovered this was back in 2011. Astronomers have discovered the largest body of water so far, a reservoir found floating in space around an ancient, distant quasar, holding 140 trillion times. A lot of us don't even have mathematical knowledge to know what 1 trillion is. So you can take every drop of water on this planet Earth, every piece, we are 75% covered in water. Okay, the planet Earth is 75% covered in water. Life is everywhere on planet Earth. You can't dig a hole and find no life. You got all sorts of life on planet. Is life floating in the air? Is life underground in caves everywhere? Life. And you got water everywhere. We got elements, all sorts of stuff. But then you take every drop of water on this planet and then you multiply that now by 1,000, now by 2,000, now by 1 million, now by 1 billion. But 1,000 billions is 1 trillion. So the thing is, there's life there. There's life on all these other. There's a lot of water on other planets. They call them Jupiter-sized planets. So we can go through here. What does this mean in a minute? I'm gonna say what this means. What does this mean for us to know something like this? So basically, quasars contain massive black holes that steadily consuming a surrounding disk of gas and dust. Quasar spews out large amounts of energy. The institution continued in its statement. A lot of it, I might add, quasars are most powerfully known entities in space. This particular one is pumping out 1,000 trillion times more energy than our sun and 65,000 times the whole of the Milky Way. So this thing is pumping out 65,000 more times energy than our entire galaxy. This is a big deal to me. So anyway, what this means too, though, is that life did not have to even start on the planet Earth. That's what I was talking about, Koja. Because they can't find a single location where life starts. There's no start. See, all your life has to come from something that was alive before it. Because you find any sort of life, an insect, a germ, or whatever, it had a daddy. It had a mama. So the thing is, we just need to understand that science, the way science, real science works, not dealing with scientific community with all the politics in it and money and funding of research. Science is when information goes out to the community, then the community gets to debate, it gets to actually come up with ideas, theories. Theories are okay. You're supposed to come up with theories and ideas, and then people are supposed to challenge it. You're supposed to do it in a scientific method, though. And then the answers that come from those debates, those scientific debates and properly cased debates, they're going to advance the whole of humanity. Okay. They're also work. That's also work for your families. You see how I'm connecting, the science, the math, and the history. See, all of this stuff, it it actually, if you do this thing right, if you start putting your people in STEM, you start understanding this realm of the circle of politics and debate and stuff like that, it takes us away from some of these old wars and all this old stupid stuff that, I mean, I can't say it's stupid, but it's the stuff that the mainstream people want everybody to talk about. I'll say it that way. That's my point. Yeah. So I know what 33 trillion, 33 trillion in US debt looks like. Yeah. Water is just hydrogen and oxygen. But see, you got to realize too that atoms energy is really a good thing to check it out. So, hydrogen and oxygen are big deals. Hydrogen and oxygen, the way they form together in like this little triangle. It's two hydrogens, one oxygen, and it's actually, it harnesses energy. There's what they call string theory. It's a lot of good concepts in the science that I think more of us need to be paying attention to, because what that does is it elevates our conversations, it elevates our thoughts, and it also, some stuff we argue about, boy, man, to me it just needs to. Some stuff that we argue about is like babies arguing about certain stuff. Is some of the stuff that we're arguing about in mainstream discourse is literally beneath us. We should feel embarrassed to even debate about some of this stuff. Yeah, yeah, the elements, even but also the elements like the periodic table. That's literally the alphabet of the universe. That's the alphabet of everything. And that's why I said, it's not about saying that we are from Africa. I'll say it that way. Africa is a part of our planet. See, if we can expand our idea, then we're not. See, if you're thinking that you're just from one location, then every new idea that you get, you're trying to prove the old thing. But what if the old thing is not exactly correct? You know what I mean? Then that means you're always trying to prove something that it may not even be actually correct. So the information should just be taken and then analyzed, and then okay, where does this lead us? Period. And like I said before, if you say you're from Africa, all life started in Africa, or humans started in Africa, okay, we can say that. I mean, I have no problem believing that. But what I'm saying is we're hearing that from someone else, and if we're getting proud of that information, really, that's to me is telling me that. I'll say it like this. I did this one show where there was they're saying something low key by saying that. They're saying that, okay, human, like, and I have this on a video. I ain't got time to find the video, but they're basically saying that the Khoisan is the oldest people in Africa. This is what they say genetically. And I have a older little documentary where they did this scientific thing on the DNA. They're saying that the Khoisan people in South Africa, and African people, they are supposedly the oldest genetics in humans, and they over like 50,000 years old, which is not old enough. Well, I mean, it's not just because it's not just white people. It's actually this is the scientific authorities now. A lot of them happen to be white, so, but it's really the scientific authorities because they hide a lot of stuff. If it doesn't fit their narrative, if it doesn't fit their Darwinism, if it doesn't fit their whole Big Bang theory, just like right now, they just had this thing with the James Webb telescope. That They just their whole science, all the science that they've taught people for the past 20, 30 years about Hubble, about the Big Bang and everything starting from one little point 13.4 billion years ago in the universe. They gotta say that was a lie now. They just came up with something like, oh, the James Webb Telescope just showed them that, oh, that we had big galaxies bigger than ours right now, way back then, 14 billion years ago. And these galaxies was bigger than ours, so it took them at least 15 billion years to, so they don't know how old this stuff is. They don't know. So we got to be careful who we listen to, like it's the God gospel truth. It's like, okay, based on our information right now, this is the smartest thing that we can believe. And that's all you can go by. But like I said too, we need to get more people involved in that. Because that is where real human advancement comes from. That's another thing too. A lot of people don't believe that there are a lot of space. They have straight up told you that they are dealing with space, what they call ships, spaceships. They have congressional conferences on it right now, and they came out there in Congress talking about spaceships, and it's a reason why they have a space force. And a lot of people think that it's a waste of time, but it's not, because they got these issues at their nuclear facilities. They got these issues at the nuclear facilities. This is what's happening right now. So I mean, I'm gonna play it. I was gonna play something, but I don't want to play that. Let me see, because that's more political crap. But I was trying to find this one. Yeah, so this also does play out with the birth rates, with the warfare. Let me play this. I'll play this a little bit. Hold on. So back in the day, we had a thing with AIDS. Somebody was trying to seem like they was trying to kill everybody with AIDS. Yeah, blacks in space. That's why it's something else. I'll say it like this. If you look at Cydonia, and which I'll show this right quick. And I mean, let me do it this way. Oh yeah, there you go, Cydonia. Now this is Cydonia. People should look at it. Y'all should look at this stuff, and because people thinking like, oh, this has nothing to do with us. No, this has something to do with the narrative that they want to teach you, and that narrative is going to put you in a certain frame of mind, and that's the little place that you're going to stay. So, of course, we deal with our day to day life. Of course, we're going to deal with what puts food in our refrigerator. We're going to go out there and we're going to keep getting it. But it's a good thing to look into some of this stuff, though. Right. Right. Well, now that's true. Now look, now with the AIDS thing, there was a brother. Now, okay, so a lot of people don't know this one name, and this is what I'll do on this. This is where I will end it real quick, and we can talk about this a little bit way later, but I don't have time right now. But with this AIDS thing, there was an African man who actually developed the treatment from AIDS that a lot of people that they were trying to suppress. Let me do it this way. Okay, right here. So Dr. Alim and the Nation of Islam had got a hold of it. And let me see. I'm gonna go to this one part. What's this man name is Dr. Shoot. I'm gonna have to get that later then, because I don't think I'm gonna find it. I don't think I'm gonna find it today, but he was a doctor in Africa, in Kenya. He created this alpha interferons with Kenyan by the Kenya Health Authority. So it was real science. You know, he was a Harvard educated doctor. And once he started treating AIDS, and start getting positive results, they wanted to ignore this man. I can't remember this man's name though. I'm not good with these names. I'm saying.
Just write a certificate. Just leave the date blank and
trying to get
because he's a black man, you haven't heard anything about it.
Oh, here it is, right here.
Until the Final Call newspaper went there and broke the story. Y'all talk a little bit about personalities. So we ought to bring Dr. David Koresh here so you can see.
Okay, that's his name, Dr. David Koresh. Dr. David Koresh. This man, he actually invented a treatment. There's a lot of people in DC that don't have AIDS now because Dr. Ali went against the law and he got that alpha interferon and he was treating people with that AIDS. Dr. David Koresh. I'll look that up and then we'll end it. I'm not going to go into all of the detail, but right now, all you can see right now is a controversy on them because they end up getting them out of I think they end up getting them out of office. But President Ruto, he pardons Kimiri, Dr. David Koresh. So, yeah, this is the man. Here it is. Yeah, this is, they don't show you. Anyway. But yeah, Dr. David Koresh. So if this man had been any other group, he would be world famous for developing this standard treatment of AIDS. Well, they made sure that this man is trying to be you don't know him, and I'll do some more on him a little later because it's almost time for me to get out of here. But you either don't know him, or if you do find out about him, it's a controversy because he had to go to jail. They say that he used some money in Kenya, but even though he paid it back, so they put him in jail for a little while, and he was pardoned later. But the point is, like I said, this is a lot of stuff that goes on in the scientific community that I think we should be paying attention to. So, that's pretty much it right now. I'm just going to sign off. But yeah, you guys have a good day. I'm glad y'all came in. Thanks, James. Thanks, Coach, for chiming in. And y'all let me know what y'all think about more science, more math, more look into these communities. There's a lot of dirt that goes on in these little communities. People think that science is so pure. Oh, the science says this, the science says that. Oh, they have a lot of issues in that some of the information that's presented is not all the way right. And there's a lot of stuff that's hidden in these communities that we should be talking about, that we should be into, because it actually presents solutions for us. It is money in it. There's everything that you want to talk about is inside of these little science communities in math and history. So we should just be looking at it. And that's it, y'all. Peace out and have a great day.